The other thing I wanted to clarify is the term variance came up. What this initiative does, it says that all capacity improvements must be fully completed before any form of discretionary approval can be given to a project, and that seems to be the subject du jour. But a discretionary approval includes things like a variance, and I think that's where the term came up. A variance is an example of a discretionary project. The world kind of divides land use and development projects into ministerial or discretionary. And an easy way to think of it is a ministerial project is one like your typical building permit where you've got a list of boxes to check. The concrete walls, 4 inches minimum. There's rebar every 18 inches. It's not any higher than 40 feet. And if you can go through and check all the boxes without having to exercise any particular judgment, then that's considered a discretionary project. And, I'm sorry, ministerial. And a building permit is used as a classic example. There are some discretionary building permits, but leave that aside for the moment. A discretionary project is one that requires the exercise of discretion on the part of the decision maker, which can be at staff level or at planning commission or board level. To use an example the board may be recently familiarized with, a tentative subdivision map is a classic discretionary act. So think of the Wilson Estates project that came up. You were confronted with that project and you made the discretionary decision, we think 48 lots is too much. We think it's better suited for 40 lots. And you made, I can't remember the exact number, whatever the number was, but you made that decision right here, exercising your discretionary power. What's right for the community because of where it's located. That's a classic discretionary project. Once you approve a tentative map, you add pages and pages of conditions. Well, when you get a final map, that's now ministerial because the process is just go through all the conditions. Has this one been satisfied?
Excuse me, I didn't know we were debating the text of the initiative, and I'm a little concerned that it's almost like a lobbying effort to have you help make a decision. And I really think it would be nicer if we went back to ABC and the overall picture of whether you're going to let this petition go to the people to decide if those are issues, which everybody's very free to put out, more $10,000 ads to say all these things. But I'm concerned that you continue to hear what this will do, possibly almost to kind of taint your decision, which I'm concerned about. So I just have a few concerns about where this is headed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Taylor. From what I understand is you're responding to a public comment about discretionary and variance, and you're bringing that information in terms of what is discretionary and what is the variance.
Right.
That's what
I'm trying to help the board understand what the term discretionary means, and people at the lectern use the word variance. A variance is one type of discretionary project. So, for example, if you can build a fence 8 feet high under the building code, that's ministerial. If somebody wants to build one 10 feet high, then you have to ask for a variance, and somebody then has to exercise judgment whether or not it's a good idea for you to have a fence higher than standard. So that's the difference between a ministerial project. If the code allows it up to 8 feet, it says 8 feet.
Ms. Taylor,
Well,
I
I'm
have.
still concerned because this is the
No.
opposition brought up
We're-
that same example.
You know what?
And so I feel like there's some
public
lobbying
comment
going
has
on.
closed on this item.
Well, I just feel like you're being lobbied and campaigned.
No,
it's-
and I think I made it very, excuse me, Ms. Taylor, public comment has closed on this item. I'm understanding what the discussion is, the difference between variance and discretionary. That's all the discussion is.
Well, do you want to
While
debate
you
the
feel-
whole
no,
petition?
No, excuse me, we're not going through the whole petition. I don't have time to do that. I know that I have to make a decision on A, B, and C.
Correct.
And what is being offered, there was some use of language at the lectern to make sure that there was an explanation of the difference between variance and discretionary. That's it. If you feel it's a lobbying position, I'm sorry. But that's what we're doing here, is we're educating on the difference between those two terms. That's it. Well,
See, I have a
like
a
I said,
concern.
Okay.
public,
Okay, come on.
you know
Let's take a
what?
5-minute break.
Yeah, let's take a
wait,
Let's
break.
take a break. Let's take a break, please.
I mean,
Take a break.
don't disregard the process, guys. We've been really, you've been here all day, you've seen us, and we're trying to do this respectfully, but, you know, for Sue to jump in is just not appropriate. I wouldn't do that to her.
Public comment has closed. We have asked for discussion on some items here, and there are some things that need to be clarified. We are in the process of clarifying those items. I have asked County Counsel to please be brief in his comments in terms of what he is trying to explain in terms of definition. That's it.
Sure.
I'd be happy to clarify anything else the board
Well,
would wish.
Okay.
Let me follow up then. I'm reading right here. Before any form of discretionary approval can be given to a project. So I think what you were trying to get at, what falls under discretionary? And
You have to be, yes, excuse me, Mr. Smith, again, I will not tolerate outbursts from the public or even from my colleagues on this board.